holds it in the far corner. Good hit there by Schneider. Malachi Smith pinches to help keep it in on this point. He throws the puck just wide of the net. Schneider gets it on the far boards, gets it to Fugner. That's Mason Blanchard. Blanchard's got it in the corner. He gets pinned. Schneider's going to go help him out. Those two battle for the puck. Schneider comes away with it. He goes up to the point. Tomadowski. Tomadowski makes a move around one man. Gets to the dot, shoots and scores. Patrick Tomadowski with goal number 2 for the Blues. 13:27 left in the first, 2-0. Tomadowski from Schneider on that one. Batansky, Crowley, and Blanchard with Peterson and Brooks now. Crowley will chase the dump. Florida rims it around and out of their zone, putting into the neutral zone. Brooks goes far ice to Blanchard. Blanchard gets it to Batansky. He gains the blue line. Tries to get it to Crowley. It's knocked away. He goes to Blanchard up the boards. Blanchard spins away from the hit, gets it to Crowley. Crowley to Brooks, back to Crowley. He throws it around the net. Blanchard will go get it. He backhands it to Stefanski. He comes out from the goal line, gets it up to Peterson, over to Brooks. Brooks back to Peterson. He takes a shot that gets tipped just wide. Stefanski goes for the rebound. He takes a hit. Got the puck to Crowley, who put it just wide. Oh, Stefanski takes a big hit there behind the net. Crowley's got the puck. Blanchard grabs it out of the air to Peterson. Peterson with a shot. Goes just wide. Florida's going to chip it around their own net. Their defenseman gets it, tries to flip it out, just out of the reach of Crowley. Stefanski takes that. He gets taken down again. No call. Florida goes behind their net. They dump it. Oh, icing is waved off for some reason right there. I don't think that puck was tipped, but Miniman goes to Boyer. Boyer gathers speed, carries it into the off Florida zone. He takes a hit from behind. There is going to be a penalty on that one. Shot on net by Tomadowski. Rebound to Boyer, who centers it through everyone. And Florida touches the puck. They're going to get a cross-checking penalty for cross-checking Tyson Boyer from behind. So Blues are on a power play. They've got Giorgio, Boyer, and Bowers out with Tomadowski and Miniman. Puck up to Miniman. He gets it to Giorgio, to Boyer in the center. Boyer fights off a couple of checks, gets a puck from Bowers and puts it just wide. Another pass from Bauer. Miniman tried to keep that one in. Bounced off his hand and out of the zone, so the Blues had to reset. That pass goes off of Florida serve skate out of the zone. The Blues will regroup in the neutral zone. And Miniman gains the blue line, dumps it deep behind the net, comes around to Boyer at the far board. He goes to Giorgio. Giorgio to Miniman. Miniman to Boyer. Boyer to Como. Como with a shot. Saved by the goalie. 43 seconds left in the power play. And the Blues will send out Hugner, Schneider, Bauer, Brooks, and Smith. Blues win the face-off. Bauer goes to Smith. Back to Bauer. He and Hugner. Hugner picks the puck, gets it to Brooks. Brooks with a good pass to Schneider, and Schneider with a one-timer from the slot for his second goal of the game. 3-0 Blues. Power play goal. Schneider from Brooks and Hugner. Florida wins the face-off. Try to carry the puck into the zone. It's knocked off the stick by Smith. They get it back, and it goes far boards to Schneider. He'll dump it into the Florida zone. Bauer in on the forecheck. He's first to the puck. There's a spin move without the puck. Fakes out his defenseman, and Fugner goes and picks it up. He'll spin it around to Bauer. Bauer back to Fugner. Fugner throws a shot on. Net comes off, but the ref is going to go over and try to put it back. Malachi Smith with a pinch to keep the puck in the zone. Throws it around the net. It hops on Brooks and gets past him. Brooks waits till Schneider clears and dumps it back deep, and the Blues will go for a change. Florida tries the outlet. It's broken up by Smith. Puck's picked up by Blanchard. He's got Crowley and Spatansky with him. Blanchard tries to go to Spatansky, but a good back check knocks it off his stick. And Florida tries to get out of the zone. It's held in at the blue line by Spatansky. He's in the corner, bounces off of him to Blanchard. Blanchard with a quick shot over the net. Goes around to Miniman. Miniman throws it back to Blanchard. Florida throws it around the net. Spatansky puts a hit on his guy there. Good pass by Crowley out to Peterson. He throws a shot on net that's caught and held. Spatansky, Blanchard, and Crowley with Miniman and Peterson. Offensive zone draw with 9:23 left in the first. Blues win the faceoff. Crowley goes back to Peterson. His shot hits Spatansky at the dot. Takes a cross check. Pops right back up. Peterson with another shot goes just wide. Comes out to Miniman. He throws it into the corner. Crowley battles with Blanchard over there. Florida Surf come away with it. They skate behind their own net. Fire an outlet pass up the center of the ice, and they get into the blue zone. Easy save there for Stutzer. Get him into the game a little bit. He hasn't seen much rubber yet today. Surf have the puck behind the net. They center it through the crease. Can't hook up with anybody. Blanchard up to Crowley. He's got speed. Shot by Crowley. He's saved by the goalie. He'll hang on for the faceoff. Blues will send out Giorgio, Ian Bowers, and Zoom with Smith and Komodowski here. Komodowski's got it at the point. He throws a shot that gets tipped just wide by Bowers. Giorgio with the rebound goes to Smith. He goes back to Giorgio, who lets it go around the net. Bowers has it in the far corner. He throws it behind the net. Giorgio will get tied up with a Surf player over there. He tries to go to the point, but it's picked off, and the Surf come out, broken up by Malachi. He gets it out of the zone to Giorgio. Giorgio up the far wing to Bowers. He does a drop pass to the middle that's just ahead of Giorgio, and the Surf break back into the blue zone. Their shot's blocked by Komodowski. He makes a move around one, move around two, gets tripped up. No call, gets it over to Malachi Smith, who gives it back to Komodowski. He skates up the ice, finds Giorgio on the near wing. Giorgio tries to make a move around the guy, gets it knocked off of his stick, and the Surf come back out into the neutral zone, into the blue zone. Shot there blocked by Linus Brooks. He picks up the puck behind his own net, goes up the near wing to Zilm. Zilm tries to tip it and it's held in at the blue line by Florida. Zilm still battling. Puck gone to the center of the ice. Big save there by Stutzer. Florida still has control of the puck. Centering pass blocked by Stutzer. Florida still has it behind the net. Bowers picks it up. His backhand pass to the neutral zone is just out of the reach of Jay-Z, and Florida will take over in their own zone. Schneider in on the forecheck. Pass picked off by Brooks. He backhands it up the ice, and Fugner will dump it deep into the Florida zone. Brandon Bowers on the forecheck. He takes over the puck. He tries to get it to Peterson. It's blocked by a Surf player. And then it rolls off their stick to Peterson. Peterson to Schneider. Schneider to Fugner. Fugner gets it to Brooks. Brooks has it, backhands it behind the net to Fugner. Fugner spins away from the hit. Bauer forechecks. Blues keep it in. Good job by Braden Schneider there. Gets it to the blue line, and he comes out into the neutral zone. Got two Surf players on him. Goes back behind his own net. Finds Miniman. Hops over his stick up to Fugner. Fugner takes a hit but gets it to Bauer. Bauer tried to get it to Schneider, but it just came out of the zone. Offside on the Blues. 5:58 left in the first. 3-0 St. Louis. Spatansky, Crowley, and Blanchard with Miniman and Komodowski. Blues win the face-off. Crowley goes to Komodowski. He carries through center ice and throws it into the Surf zone. Blanchard in on the forecheck. Spatansky's with him. Puck comes out to Miniman. His shot's tipped by Spatansky. Rebound goes to Blanchard just out of his reach. Blanchard got it to Spatansky, who tried to backhand it towards the net, but it was stopped. Ford is into the blue zone. Good job by Miniman there to cut his guy off. Komodowski takes over the puck. He gets it up to Blanchard, but it was bouncing and hopped over his stick. Florida puts it up into the netting. We'll have a face-off to the left of their goalie, or in the neutral zone, even though it's incorrect. So the Blues still have Spatansky, Crowley, and Blanchard out. They're joined by Smith and Brooks now. Spatansky breaks up that outlet pass. Good job by Crowley to get a stick on that one. Just comes out of the zone. Spatansky has it get tied up in his feet. Smith picks it up. He tries to go over to Brooks. It's deflected by a Surf stick. Brooks goes up to Blanchard. Blanchard to Spatansky. Spatansky has it stick checked off of his stick. Good job there by Blanchard. Spatansky regains possession of the puck. He's got two Surf with him. Gets it to Smith at the point. Smith with a shot. That's tipped wide. Another centering pass, and the goalie knocks the goal off. So we'll have a face-off in their zone. The pegs here are not very good, evidently. That's the second time the goal's just gone flying. Blues send out Boyer, Bowers, and Zoom with Smith and Brooks. Bowers has it on the far boards. He tries to go to Zoom, but he's blocked by the ref. Then the ref blocks the pass. For the Surf carries out of their own zone into the neutral zone and dump it deep. That's chased after by Smith. Smith's reversal is blocked by Florida. Then it's chipped up by the Blues. Picked up by Boyer. He chips it around one into the Surf zone. Comes back into their zone. No offside. I'm assuming they're saying that was brought back in by a Surf player. They try to chip it out. Held in by Bowers. Zilm will go in on the forecheck. Florida throws it around the board. Gets stopped by Bowers. Held in at the blue line by Boyer. Florida comes out. They throw a shot on net. Steered wide by Stutzer. He goes up to Bowers, up to Boyer. Boyer into the Florida zone. Goes to Zilm. It's just out of his reach. And Florida will come back into the Blues end. Good move there. Good help by Peterson with a stick check away. Miniman takes a check. Peterson deflects that one wide. They'll come up to Bowers. He's got it in his skates, goes around to Miniman. Miniman goes up the boards to Zoom. He gets it into the neutral zone, tries to go to Peterson, but it was just behind him. Bowers goes to Peterson, who throws it deep into the Surf zone, and they all go for a change. Florida comes up the near wing. Back to the D. He hangs out behind his net, goes back around to the wing, held in at the line by Miniman. Throws it towards the net. It's deflected behind the net by Florida. Bauer tries to center. That's blocked. Miniman pinches, holds it in down by the dot. And Florida will throw it into the blue zone. Not enough speed for an icing. It's picked up by Peterson. He goes around. Miniman lets it go to Bauer. Bauer tries to backhand a Fugner. Big save there by Scutcher on a quick shot by Florida. Blues send out Sputansky, Blanchard, and Crowley with Tomodaski and Smith. Sputansky wins the draw into the corner. Smith goes off the boards to Tomodaski, up the wing to Crowley. It jumps over his stick. Sputansky with heavy pressure at the blue line. Crowley takes it into the zone, goes into the corner. It's knocked off of his stick. He's tied up with one surf player. Blanchard over to help him out. Tries to poke it to Blanchard. It comes back to Crowley. He's tied up. Blanchard's got the puck. Goes to Sputansky. He goes back into the corner to Blanchard. Blanchard tries to make a move. Smith takes a shot and it's in. The shot from the point from Smith gets through the goalie's legs to make it 4-0 Blues. Assists on that one should go to Blanchard and Sputansky. Minute 45 left in the first period. Same five on the ice. Scrambled draw taken over by Florida there and offside. Still no change in personnel for the Blues. Sputansky ties up the center. Florida comes into the Blues zone. Tomodaski will take it to the near board to Blanchard. Blanchard tries to get it to Sputansky. Then he chips it up into the neutral zone to the Florida defense. They try to go D to D, kind of whiffed on it, but just out of Crowley's reach. They carry into the blue zone. Fake shot, then a real shot blocked by Tomodaski. Blanchard gets it to Crowley. Crowley dumps it deep into the Florida zone. Smith in on the forecheck. He gets it behind the Florida net, takes the puck. He's got a few players, tries to hit a streaking Giorgio, but it gets deflected over his stick. Kept in at the blue line by Brooks. That clearing attempt blocked by Zilm on the boards. Held in again at the blue line by Brooks. He gets it to Giorgio. Giorgio tries to go to Brooks, and it's blocked back into the blue zone. Picked up there by Peterson. Peterson to Brooks. Brooks goes back to Peterson. Back to Brooks. He'll go up the boards to Zilm. Zilm with a nice touch pass to Giorgio, but it was rolling on him. Got his passing. Zilm with a good center to Boyer. Boyer tips it on net, saved by the goalie. Comes around to Peterson at the far boards. Chips back in by Zilm. He battles with a surf player there. Picked up by Giorgio. Giorgio to Brooks. Brooks shot. Saved by the goalie. I don't know that he saw that one. Step up there by Brooks. Peterson picks up the puck, and that'll do it for the first period. 4-0 Blues after one. Back for the second period, Blues have Giorgio, Zilm, and Boyer out with Miniman and Komodoski. Pucks out to center ice, shot into the zone by Miniman. Boyer will retrieve it in the near corner. He spins away from the hit, makes a move, gets it to Zilm. Zilm tries the center, picked up by Boyer. He throws a shot on net, that's saved by the goalie. Boyer goes to Miniman at the point. He dances around one, tips it deeper into the zone. Pelt holds it in at the blue line, skates towards the center of the ice. That shot's deflected and saved by the goalie. Blues have Fugner, Bauer, and Bowers with Schneider and Smith on the ice. Held in at the blue line by Schneider. He'll throw a shot on, blocker by the goalie. Fugner's got it behind the net. He spins away from the hit, takes a cross check, gets it to Bauer. Bauer takes it behind the net, goes up to Smith. His shot's blockered up into the netting by the goalie. Same five on the ice for the Blues. Face off won by St. Louis. Back to Smith. He puts a shot on net. That's caught and held. Another face-off win for the Blues. Bowers goes up to Smith. He gets it to Fugner. That shot put off the post by Brandon Bauer. Two Blues battle in the corner. Shot behind the net by Bauer. Smith will try to keep it in. It's shot past him. Schneider picks it up, tries to hit Fugner on the wing, and it'll go down for an icing. Blues send out Statansky, Blanchard, and Crowley with Brooks and Peterson. Face off won by the Blues. Crowley carries out of the zone. He's got Blanchard with him. He chips it down the boards and goes after it. Takes a hit there, tries to get it to Blanchard. Knocked away from him. Statansky takes it away. He tries to get it to Crowley. It's knocked down into the corner. They fired up the boards. Carry it out. Statansky broke it up, threw it back in off sides, no whistle. Peterson throws it into the surf zone, picked off by them. They throw a center. Peterson with a good back check, comes back on, and Florida scores. So 4-1 Blues, 14:02 left in the second period. Blues send out Giorgio, Boyer, and Zilm with Komodoski and Miniman. Blues win the draw. Komodoski into his own zone. Comes up the wing to Boyer. Boyer into Miniman on the far board. So across the blue line. He's got a couple of Blues streaking to the net. Tries to get it to Boyer. It's blocked. Boyer tries to hit Zilm. It's picked off. And the surf come out. Try to dump it deep. It's picked off by Miniman. He goes up the wing. It's deflected back in by Florida. Komodoski back to Miniman. Miniman up to Zilm. Zilm to Giorgio across the blue line. Beats one, puts a shot off the goalie's mask. Florida throws it around the boards, held in at the blue line by Komodoski. Nope, jumped on him, and it's back into the neutral zone. Zilm covering for Como. He goes over to Miniman. Miniman touch pass to Giorgio. He's around another one. Puts a shot that gets deflected up over the net, held in by a pinching Komodoski. He dodges a hit back behind the net. Boyer holds it in at near boards. He's dealing with 3 Florida Surf players over there. Zilm will go in. Pops over Boyer to Komodoski. Komodoski with a shot that goes off the goalie's glove and over the net. A centering pass, another save by the Florida goalie. And Florida carries it out from behind the net. They outlet the center of the ice. come into the blue zone, and a shot's thrown on net and it's caught by Stutzer. He'll drop it to Komodowski, goes up the wing to Bauer, hops off of his stick into the Florida zone. He's in after it. He gets it to Bowers behind the net, taken away from him by two Surf players, and they outlet up the center of the ice, back into the neutral zone, into the blue zone. Knocked off the stick by Malachi Smith. He then pins his guy to the boards. They battle for the puck. He and Fugner. Smith comes away with it. He goes up the wing to Bowers. Bowers outlet pass is deflected, thrown back in by the Surf. Smith plays it off Bauer's skate, and it's tipped back in by the Surf. Schneider back to get it. Goes behind his net. Goes up the wing at Bauer. Bauer to Fugner. Fugner flips it into the Surf zone on net. It's caught and held by the goalie. Blues send out Stefanski, Blanchard, and Crowley with Smith and Schneider. Face off, tied up. Crowley got tied up with a Florida Surf player. Smith throws a shot to the net, and that's blockered to the side by the goalie. Crowley tried to go up the boards back to Smith. That got deflected. Good back check there by Blanchard. Knocks it off the Surf stick. Smith goes to Schneider. Back to Smith. The Blues will look to come out of the zone. Stefanski with a move around one. He's got three teammates with him. Drop pass to Crowley. Crowley to Smith. Smith with a great shot. That was a good play there by the Blues. Malachi Smith makes it 5-1. That's going to be Smith from Crowley and Stefanski. So the Blues get that one back. 11:03 left in the second. Giorgio, Zillman, Boyer out with Peterson and Brook. Scramble draw picked up by Brook. Kicked into the blue zone by the Surf. Picked up there by Boyer. He goes to Peterson, who backhands into the neutral zone. Giorgio knocks it into the Surf zone, tries to get it to Zilm. It's behind him. And the Surf come into the blue zone. Good stick by Johnny Peets. Gets it out of the zone. All the way down the ice. They wave off icing, though. Boyer in on the forecheck. The Surf have a 2-on-1 here. Brooks the only one back. A big glove save by Stutzer, and then he catches the rebound, diving back in front of the net. Unbelievable save by Max Stutzer on the rebound right there. Great save, Stutzer. Blues have Fugner, Bauer, and Bowers out with Miniman and Komodowski. Scramble draw comes out in front of the Blues net to Bauer. Bauer to Bowers. He's got some speed into the Florida zone, makes a move around one, puts a shot off the goalie's pad, gets it right back. He and Fugner in the far corner get it up to Miniman. Miniman tries to go to Komodowski. It comes out of the zone. Carried in by Florida. They throw a shot on net. Caught and held by Stutzer. And we'll have a face-off in the blue zone. Face-off won by the Blues, taken over by Florida. Miniman shoots it around the goal to Komodowski. He cuts back around one Surf player, goes up the wing to Bowers. Bowers backhands it to Fugner. He's in over the blue line. He's got Bowers with him. Centers it, goes just wide on the tip, picked up by Bowers on the near boards. He goes up to the point to Komodowski, who finds Crowley. Crowley throws a quick shot on net. That's off the pad into the corner. Crowley goes behind the net to Fugner. Fugner shrugs off a hit. Miniman pinches and holds it in, but Florida maintains possession around their own net, carrying it out of the zone, up the wing. They're back into the neutral zone. They throw it up towards the blue zone. It's taken over by Komodowski. He'll shot behind his net, go up the wing to Crowley. Crowley gets it to Spatansky. Blanchard picks it up in the neutral zone. He's got Como and Scott with him. Spatansky tries to go back to Blanchard. It's in his skates. Picks it up off the boards. Picked up by Crowley. Crowley goes to Spatansky at the point. He spins away from a hit. He's got three Surf players on him. They go up to the point, held in by Schneider. Schneider throws it on net, and it's covered by the goalie. Offensive zone face-off. The Blues have Spatansky, Crowley, and Blanchard with Smith and Schneider. Face-off won by the Blues. Crowley goes to Smith, deflected by Spatansky just wide. Crowley's tied up in the corner, takes a hit. That outlet pass is deflected down into the blue zone. Malachi Smith will win the race to it. Curls around his own net. Schneider takes the puck, goes up the wing to Blanchard. Blanchard finds Crowley. He carries over the red line, over the blue line. It's knocked off his stick, tipped deeper by Blanchard. The Surf will chip it just out of the zone. It's retrieved by Schneider. He goes D to D to Smith. Smith up the wing to Boyer. Boyer to Schneider. He's over the blue line. He's got Zilm with him. Goes to Zilm. It's just out of his reach. He maintains possession in the near corner. Looking for a pass. He goes to Schneider. Schneider to Smith. Smith to Giorgio. Back to Schneider. Schneider throws a shot on net. That's saved by the goalie. Boyer tips it into the corner. Picked up by Zilm. Zilm tries to go to Boyer. It's tipped away from him. Comes up to the point to Schneider. Schneider throws another shot that goes off a Surf face mask to the far boards. Big hit there by Tyson Boyer. Smith tries to hold it in at the blue line and it gets past him into the blue zone. Taken there by Schneider. Schneider to Giorgio. Giorgio gains the blue line. He's got Boyer behind him. Knocked off his stick around the net. Giorgio takes a high hit, goes down, and there will be a penalty on Florida. Got an elbowing penalty on number 40 for the Surf, so the Blues will go back to the power play. 7:01 left in the second period. They've got Giorgio, Boyer, and Zilm out with Brooks and Peterson. Face off, won by the Blues. Zilm goes up to Peterson at the point, back to Zilm, back to Peterson. He'll walk the blue line, goes to Giorgio. It's off his skate. Off his skate, and the Surf throw it into the blue zone. Stutzer will come and play it around the net to Peterson. Peterson reverses for Brooks. He's forechecked out from behind his own net, circles around, takes a hit, gets it to Peterson. Peterson up the wing to Boyer. He tries to make a move, but gets hit, knocked off his skates. Giorgio picks it up in the corner, goes to Zilm. Zilm takes a hit. He gets it to Giorgio. Giorgio backhands to Brooks at the point. He goes over to Peterson at the far point, who throws it down into the corner to Zilm. Zilm with a good shoulder fake there, gets it to Giorgio. Giorgio to Peterson, and it's out of his reach, back into the blue zone. Heavy pressure there from the Surf, picked up by Brooks. Brooks goes to Peterson. Peterson tries to go to Fugner. It's deflected into the zone off the Surf stick. Fugner in after it. He's helped out by Blanchard. The Surf try to chip it up the boards. Now they've got a guy in the neutral zone coming in 1-on-2. He throws a shot on net, caught by Stutzer, dropped to the ice to Komodowski. He goes up the wing to Spatansky. Spatansky to Fugner. Fugner helped out by Blanchard, but the Surf take over possession to go behind their net. It's knocked down by Fugner. High stick, but it's touched by the Surf, so it's waved off. They fire another shot on net, saved by Max. Blues will keep the same five on the ice. Fugner, Spatansky, Blanchard. Shot blocked by Komodowski. Miniman reverses to Komodowski. He'll carry up the ice. across the red line. He finds Blanchard on the far wing. Blanchard chips it around his guy behind the net. He goes to Fugner. Fugner throws it over to Komodowski. He puts a shot. That's blocked by a Surf player. Good stick there by Komodowski to knock it off. It's chipped into the zone. Icing waved off. Miniman goes around the boards to Blanchard. Blanchard puts a hit on to Fugner. Fugner to Miniman. Miniman to Komodowski. He goes up to Statansky, who chips it into the Surf zone, and the Blues will go for a full change. Surf outlet up the center of the ice, coming down the right wing into the Blues zone. Another shot towards the Blues net, caught and held by Stutzer. .422 left in the second period. 5-1 Blues. They've got Crowley, Bauer, and Bowers out with Komodowski and Miniman. Komodowski backhands to Bowers. Bowers tries to go across to Bauer. That's picked off. Crowley with a good stick gets it up to Bowers. He chips it around. He's got Bowers with him. Good pass by Brandon Bauer, and Ian Bowers with the goal. So Ian Bowers from Brandon Bauer and goes to Crowley. 6-1 Blues. New D pairing on for the Blues. Smith and Schneider join Crowley, Bauer, and Bowers. Bowers goes up to Crowley. Crowley tries to cut around Surf defenseman. Gets it knocked off of his stick. Surf have it behind their net. On the wing, it's taken over by Brandon Bauer. He speeds around one. Cuts to the front of the net. Puts it on net. Saved by the goalie. Rebounds pushed to the side. Picked up by Ian Bowers. He makes a move around a couple of players, gets it to Crowley. Crowley with a move around another one, gets it to Bauer behind the net. He goes into the far corner, tries to get it back to Crowley. Shot by Ian Bowers. Puck's loose. Goalie drops into a snow angel to cover it, and we'll have an offensive zone faceoff. Blues had Giorgio, Boyer, and Zilm out with Peterson and Brooks. Face off won by the Blues. Brooks will get it to Zilm. Zilm to Boyer. Boyer cuts away from pressure. Gets it to Zilm behind the net. He goes for Giorgio. It's just out of his reach. Gets to Brooks. Brooks throws a shot on net that's caught and held. Giorgio wins another draw, but it's picked up by the Surf winger, and they come down into the Blue zone. Brooks with good pressure there. That centering pass goes off the Surf player, and they backhand it off the post, and it's covered by Max. Kind of a broken play, backhanded on net. It went off the post, and Max did his snow angel and covered it up. He'll get a face off to his right. Hugner's out with Blanchard and Statansky. A quick shot on goal by the Florida team. Oh, Komodowski ran into the ref there. Went down. Miniman breaks up that pass. Hugner and Miniman battle behind the net. Florida comes away with it, but good pressure by Miniman. That centering pass put into the corner by Komodowski. Miniman around the net to Como. Como chips up to Statansky. He does a backhanded chip to Fugner. Blanchard touch pass to Grant. Statansky's got Miniman with him. Miniman to Fugner, and another great passing play by the Blues. Fugner with a backdoor tap in from Miniman and Statansky. Good play by the Blues. 7-1. Same five on the ice. Huebner, Stefanski, Blanchard, Miniman, and Komendowski. Florida comes into the blue zone. They throw a shot on net. That's caught and covered by Stutzer. Minute 56 left in the second period. Face off won by the Blues, but the winger on the Surf gets to it first again. Stefanski chips. He finds Blanchard on the outlet. Blanchard's in 1-on-4. Back check from the Surf. Get control of the puck. They go down into the blue zone. Miniman to Komendowski up the wing to Stefanski. He'll spin it into the Surf zone. Huebner's in on the puck. He battles with one Surf player, throws it around his own net. Stefanski will go in the pressure on the forecheck. He tries to throw a hit. Nothing there. Thrown into the blue zone where it's taken by Komendowski. Komendowski goes up the wing to Stefanski. He's got a step. Dumps it deep. Takes a hit from a couple of Surf players. Throws it behind the net. It's taken there by Ian Bauer. He battles two Surf players. He's helped out by Gordon Crowley. Crowley to Bauer. He's knocked down. Crowley chases after him. A nice pick set there by a Surf player. And it's going to be offsides on the Blues. So the Blues have Crowley, Bauer, and Bauer's out with Schneider and Smith. Face off won by Crowley. Bauer goes to Malachi Smith, who carries into the Surf zone. His shot's deflected over the net, picked up by Bauer. Goes to the point. Schneider with the hat trick. Shot from the point goes top corner. And that's a hat trick for Braden Schneider. Schneider from Bauer right there. Probably give Malachi Smith an assist too. Face off won by the Blues. Crowley goes into the Surf zone. He's got a step. Gets it over. Boom. There's a goal for Ian Bowers. That'll make it 9-1 Blues. 9-1 Blues. 30 seconds left. That's another goal for Ian Bowers, assisted by Gordon Crowley. Face off won by the Blues. Bowers to Peterson. Chips it into the zone. Bowers with a pass to Bauer. Hops over his stick back to Brooks into the neutral zone. He flips it, knocked down by a high Surf stick. The Blues touch it though. Chipped into the Blues zone. Retrieved by Brooks. He chips it up to Bauer in the center of the ice. Bauer carries it into the Surf zone. It's knocked off of his stick. He's got it in the corner, throws it around the net, picked up there by a Florida player. Crowley puts a hit on him, and that'll do it for the second period. 9-1 Blues after 2. And we're back for the third period. Blues send out Giorgio, Zillman, Boyer with Brooks and Peterson. Face off one by Giorgio to Brooks. Brooks to Peterson. Peterson flips it up to Zilm, who throws it into the surf zone. Boyer's the first one there. He shrugs off a hit from the surf player, gets pinned to the boards in the corner, and he's helped out by Giorgio. Giorgio spins it to Zilm. Zilm to Brooks. Brooks throws a shot on net. It's tipped by Giorgio and saved by the goalie. Boyer takes over possession, centers it to Giorgio, who roofs it. 10-1 Blues. That one's Giorgio from Boyer and Zilm. Blues keep Giorgio, Boyer, and Zilm out. They're joined by Schneider and Miniman. Face off controlled by the Surf. They'll dump it around the net. Stopped by Stutzer. He'll backhand it to Miniman, who goes around the boards. Florida has it. Pulls off the boards. Shot is caught and held by Stutzer. Good save there. And Blues will have a defensive zone face off to Stutzer's right. No change in personnel. Face off won by the Blues, taken by Miniman. He backhands to Boyer. Boyer with a pass up to Zilm. He's got Giorgio with him, drops it to him just past the blue line. His shot's deflected. Boyer picks it up on the far boards, held in at the blue line by Schneider. He dumps it deep. Zilm will go in on the forecheck. The Surf try to go up the boards. It's picked off by Boyer. He gets it to Zilm. They're tied up along the boards and taken by a Surf player. His pass is behind his teammate, picked up by the Surf. They gain the red line. Carries into the blue zone, but they're offside. We have a running clock now. 10-1 game. 13:45 left in the third. Hugner, Blanchard, and Spatansky out with Schneider and Miniman. Face off, shot down into the Surf zone. No icing. Blanchard in on the forecheck. He's joined with Hugner and Spatansky. Puck thrown towards the net there by Schneider. It's blocked by Florida, and we'll have icing on the Surf. Hugner, Blanchard, and Spatansky with Tomodaski and Smith. Face off won by the Surf. They go around their own net, fired around, held in by a pinching Smith. He takes a hit, puts it into the corner. Hugner's in, or Blanchard's in after it. Now Hugner comes around to the near corner. That pass off the Surf skate, they carry into the blue zone. Tomodaski chases after him. He's got his guy pinned, helped out by Hugner. Comes out to the corner, taken there by Blanchard. He backhands to Hugner. Hugner with a backhand pass to Stefanski. He cuts around his guy, cuts back, goes to Malachi Smith. Chopped off of his stick, and the Surf come into the blue zone. Bouncing puck, hops over the forward stick. Possession regained by the Surf. They go behind the Blues net, goes off their stick. Hugner up to Blanchard. Blanchard blocks a tip. Forecheck here by Spatansky as the Surf have possession. Throw it deep. It hops over a Blues stick. No icing. Tomodaski behind his own net. He goes around another Surf player. Goes up the wing to Bauer. Bauer cuts back. He's got all kinds of space. Throws it towards the net, and it's scooped up by the goalie. Blues have Crowley, Bauer, and Bowers out with Brooks and Peterson. Face off, won by the Blues. Crowley, backhanded centering efforts picked off. Brooks holds in at the blue line, chipped in by Bowers. Crowley takes over. He's battling a couple of Surf players. Good center there by Bowers. Crowley tried to poke it on net and it got blocked. Goes up to the point to Peterson. Peterson back to Crowley. Crowley picks up a loose puck, puts a shot off the crossbar. Good shot there from Crowley. Went off the crossbar. Rebound to Brooks, who goes down to Bowers in the near corner. He fights off a check from a Surf player, gets helped out by Crowley. They battle for the puck. Comes away to Bowers. He centers it. Scrambling in front are Bauer and Crowley. Bowers got it in the near corner now. He takes a hit. Bowers centers it to Crowley, and it's deflected wide again. Good back check there by Bauer. Holds the puck in at the blue line. Surfer having trouble getting it out of their own zone. Nice backhanded deflection, gets it out. Brooks carries into the Surf zone, gets chopped down. No call. Boyer takes the puck in the corner. Giorgio goes up to Brooks. Brooks throws a shot on net. It's caught and held. 9:54 and counting on the clock. Giorgio, Boyer, and Zilm out with Miniman and Schneider. Surf take the puck behind their net. Good outlet there up the center of the ice. He carries up, taken down by Giorgio. Blues chip it up, taken over by the Surf. They come into the blue zone, throw a shot on net that's steered wide by Stutzer. Schneider picks it up behind his own net, makes a move, curls back. He backhands it to Miniman. Miniman will come up the boards. Zilm's tied up with a couple of Surf players. It pops out into the corner, chased down by Miniman. Miniman goes to Schneider. Schneider picked up by Miniman. Miniman goes up to Boyer. Boyer cuts around one, takes it into the corner, goes to the ice. Picked up there by Zilm. Zilm goes to Hubner. Hubner cuts in, quick shot. I think that went in. They didn't count it. I'm not sure. I think Hubner's shot went in. They stopped play, saying the net's off. So we'll have an offensive zone face-off. Hubner, Blanchard, and Spatinsky out with Komodowski and Smith. Face-off tied up by Hubner. He comes away with it into the corner. Goes up to Smith at the point. Malachi peeks around one, puts a shot on. That's deflected by Spatinsky. That's going to make it 11-1. Spatinsky deflects a Smith shot. Hubner will also get an assist. So 11-1 Blues, 7:40 left in the third. Last one, Spatinsky from Smith and Hubner. Hubner goes forward with the draw. It's pushed to the boards and chopped into the Surf zone by Smith. Surf go D to D, outlet up the middle, picked off by Smith. He goes up to Blanchard. Blanchard to Hubner. Hubner throws it opposite corner. Spatinsky goes in after it. He takes a high hit. Blanchard puts a shot on. Spatinsky tries to center, gets to Komodowski. His shot goes just wide. Goalie had no idea where that puck was. Hubner goes back up to Smith. Smith's going to put a shot on. That's caught and held by the goalie. .640 left in the third period of an 11-1 game. Blues will send out Crowley, Bauer, and Bowers with Peterson and Brooks. Faced off one by Crowley. Shot towards the net by Brooks. Deflected wide. Held in by a pinching Peterson. He gets tripped. No call. The Surf come out into the neutral zone. Move at the blue line. Picked off by Bowers, he shoots it down, and that'll be icing on the Blues. 6 minutes left in the third. Same five on the ice for St. Louis. Crowley to take the draw. He wins it into the corner. Peterson tips it around the boards to Brooks. Brooks up to Bauer. He tips it to Crowley, who gains the red line and the blue line. He's got space. Gets it to Bowers, but it's just out of his reach. He was tied up. Peterson pinches and throws it back behind the Surf net. They throw it around the other way. Brooks pinches and holds it in. Surf take control. Taken over by Crowley. His stick's being held, so he knocks his guy to the ice. And the Surf go D to D and come into the neutral zone. Carry it in. Their shot's high in the net. Comes into the near boards. They throw it back behind the Blues net where it's picked up by Crowley. He backhands it up the boards. Boyer curls away from some pressure, gives it to Peterson. Peterson throws it off the boards behind his own net. They try to center, and it's blocked by Brooks. Brooks with a nice sauce pass to Zilm. He's got a step. Jay-Z, great save by the Surf goalie on a good move by Zilm. Now Giorgio's got it. He makes a move and a great pass to Boyer. So more good passing there from the Blues, and they now have a 12-1 lead. That one's Boyer from Giorgio and Zilm after Zilm was stuffed on a breakaway attempt. Good move, just an even better save from the goalie. So Giorgio, Zilm, and Boyer out with Miniman and Schneider. Puck comes back to the Blues D. Schneider goes to Miniman. Up to Giorgio. He gets into the Surf zone. Tipped off of his stick. Zilm picks it up. Tipped off his stick. The Surf picked up by Schneider. Good step up there. He puts a shot towards the net. It goes off the goalie's glove. Clearing efforts. Blocked by the Blues. Picked up by Zilm. He gets it to Boyer, and Boyer puts one top shelf. So Boyer's second goal of the shift makes it 13-1 Blues. That'll go from Zilm. 3.5 minutes left in the third. Blues keep Giorgio, Boyer, and Zilm out with Schneider and Miniman. Face off won by the Blues. Taken by Miniman around his net to Schneider. Hops off of his stick. He takes a hit in the corner. Giorgio helps out. Schneider battles again there in the corner. Giorgio still helping him out. Surf come away with it. They try the wraparound. That's stuffed by Stutzer. Rebound is backhanded over the net. Miniman with the outlet up to Boyer. He's got a step on his guy. Looking for another one. He tries to get it to Zilm, and the pass is blocked into the corner. And that's off. Tyson Boyer tried to put it back on for the ref, but the whistle had already been blown. 2.5 minutes left in the third. Hugner, Blanchard, and Spatansky out with Komodowski and Smith. Face off, won by the Surf into the corner. They go up the boards, carry out of the zone. Good stick there by Malachi Smith, knocks it off the Surf player's stick. Big collision there. Smith and the Surf big forward. That shot deflected towards the net, steered into the corner by Stutzer. Smith's tied up there. He and Hugner battle for the puck in the corner. Good job by Komodowski to break that up. Spatansky's tied up in the corner with a Surf player. Komodowski comes away with the puck. He holds it behind his net, draws a forechecker, carries around. He's got 3 men beat. He carries into the Surf zone. He's got Malachi Smith. He has Blanchard, puts a shot on. That's blockered up by the goalie. Hugner takes a huge hit. No puck in the area, no penalty. Another missed hit by a Surf player. Spatansky goes to Smith. His shot goes over the net. Another puck over to Smith. He goes to Komodowski. He chips it into the Surf zone, takes it around the net, carries it, circles around the zone, gets it over to Blanchard. His shot's thrown on net and caught by the goalie. Fugner gets put in a headlock. 38 seconds left in the game. 5 new Blues on the ice. They'll send out Crowley, Bauer, and Bowers with Brooks and Peterson to finish this one off. 25 seconds left. Face off, won by Crowley. He backhands a puck off the side of the net. Florida tries to clear. It's picked off by Brooks. He throws it wide of the net. We're going to have a penalty here on Florida, and that'll do it. The game is over. Blues win this one 13-1. Very balanced effort, good passing. Boys took care of business this afternoon. 13-1 winner for the Blues. We'll see you next weekend from Minnesota.